Alright, people, let's get this thing going, shall we? Let's get this thing going. Welcome back, welcome back. Here, let's hit the... Alright, hold on one sec. Gosh, such a rookie, such a rookie. Alright. Now we're good, now we're good. Okay. We're good. We're good. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. All right, let's get this show started. We got kind of a quick one today, because the biggest news out of today, we got Stanley Cup final, Game 4. Game 4 is tonight between the Oilers and the Panthers. So we'll talk about that. I'll give a little bit of a preview for my thoughts and my predictions for how tonight's game might go between the Oilers and the Panthers. We have a contract holdout with the Bengals rookie, and that story's furthered just a little bit more. We got some NHL trades. We saw that yesterday, where there's the potential thought of, hey, maybe Chris Kreider might get traded to the Ducks, and well, we have a final verdict on how that went. So I'll give my reaction to that. And then the other one that's going around is I want to give my reaction to how Game 3 went last night for the Thunder and the Pacers. And I will admit, I was very wrong. I thought, oh, well, there's no way. There was a way. Pacers did end up winning that game. So I thought I'd give a reaction to all of those. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to hit that like button and let me know in the chat, like, your thoughts on the poll that I got out, like who's winning Game 4 tonight, but also a sports take that you want me to cover at the end of the show. Whether it's hot, whether it's cold. If it's as cold as, hey, I think MJ's the go, or something hot and spicy like, hey, I think Curry actually might be the go once it's all said and done. Be sure to let me know. Okay, let's roll into things. Let's talk a little bit about let's talk about Shamar with the NFL, because there's not a lot of news going on in the NFL right now. The biggest thing I would say is we're just mini camps and stuff, and everybody's getting ready to get the season going. We've made some predictions and stuff. Like, I'm still kind of sitting high on, like, I think Detroit's going to have a good year. I think the Eagles are going to have a good year. Like, the usual suspects for the teams that will have a good year. Like, I'm kind of still feeling it. And right now, because yesterday the Bengals cut veteran linebacker Pratt. He's now with the Raiders, which I'm like, okay. Like, let me double check. I think the Raiders actually play. Let me hold on. Let's double check here. I think the Raiders might actually play the Bengals. Let's go here under Bengals. No, they don't. But the Raiders very well could run into the Bengals in the postseason. But yeah, he got cut. He got cut the other day. And then there was talks and rumors about how maybe it's to make room for the Trey Hendrickson contract. Because not only is Trey Hendrickson in his situation, and not only is the new rookie in their situation with their contract, we also got TJ Watt. I think Micah Parsons might be in that conversation too with the Cowboys. Like, we got a lot of defensive guys who are holding out right now, which is to be expected, because football hasn't started. Like, it's started, but when it's go time and it's time to go, that's not like mandatory, hey, come back. That's not till August, when they need to make cuts. And so typically they try to figure out these contract disputes now rather than later. Because, we've seen a couple holdouts before in the past. But I'm thinking with what's going on right now, with Watt, I'll put Watt and I'll put Hendrickson together, because there's parts of me that think, like, with the gravitational pull as a player that Aaron Rodgers can bring, there's parts of me where it's like, dude, Hendrickson, don't even mess with the Bengals. Like, go to the Steelers. But I don't know. I think they will pay him, but, like, that's not a guarantee. You know what I mean? And I think when you got the rookie holding out, and then you cut guys like Pratt, and then you have Hubbard retire, there's parts of me that kind of go, okay, maybe they're moving enough salary cap to sign Trey Hendrickson on a long-term extension. But then again, like, I don't know, because I don't know. Like the situation's kind of gotten messy, and I think with uh, with Shamar holding out, like I'm kind of curious as to why, because what was the exact reporting? Let me read the exact reporting so I don't word this wrong here. Cincy rookie leaves camp amid contract disputes. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. It is what it is. I mean, there's parts of me that it's like, okay, yeah, I get it, but then there's other parts of me where um, he's a rookie, so it's kind of confusing. It's kind of confusing to see rookies want to hold out on rookie contracts. Um, like if it was Cam Ward, I can see Cam Ward wanting to do a holdout. I can see Travis Hunter wanting to do a holdout. I can see Abdul Carter wanting to do a holdout. Um, and teams that are like desperate for the generational talent. Like, yeah, the Jaguars, they moved a lot, compensation wise to get up to the 2 spot to get Travis Hunter. So it's like Travis Hunter can say, "Hey, I want an extra 2 million or something," and like it can probably be negotiated and worked out. But then when you look at Cincinnati and you look at like the Bengals, like yes, they need defensive guys, but there like there's parts of me where it's like they're not so desperate where it's like, oh, okay, if we need to cut you, we'll cut you. Like, and they can look at it from that way of like, oh, whoops, we drafted the wrong guy. Because you look at just the history of draft picks, there have been misses, and there have been like not every single owner in the NFL can look at every single draft pick that they've ever had with confidence going, oh yeah, we made the right. Because sometimes there's misses. But here's the thing, I think Shamar Stewart's going to be playing ball week 1 for the Bengals. Like, let's not get this thing twisted. Other fun, crazy things that I think might be going on is, so yeah, I think Hendrickson might sign with the Bengals, and he might stay in Cincinnati. Or then, you could throw him in there with, like, the Khalil Macks, the Bosas of the world, where, okay, wasn't working with the Bears. No, wasn't working with the Raiders, so we floated to the Bears, and then we floated to the Chargers. And then it wasn't working in L.A. with the Chargers, so now Bosa's with the Bills. But he's also dealing with, from what I saw and read, some injury of some kind. We'll see and look further on that. But I'm still thinking, like, with how talented Stewart is, if it's not with the Bengals, he's still going to be playing football in the fall. Like, he's still, like, there's still a reason why he was a first-round draft pick. He was still up there, so who knows? We'll just have to see. Now, other things to put into consideration as they move forward with contract talks is maybe it shows kind of like, because with I don't know, like maybe defense is not something that Cincinnati's wanting to build right now. I don't know, like, because we've seen who they've paid. They paid T. Higgins. They paid Jamar Chase. They paid Joe Burrow. So I don't know. It's a sticky situation right now, and so that's honestly just my thoughts on that. It's kind of silly because it's like, okay, you're a rookie, but then at the same time, like, okay, he can hold out forever, but the truth is he's gonna play somewhere. Like, he's still a top prospect enough to go play somewhere. If it's not with the Bengals, then that does not surprise me, because they got Hendrickson holding out too. So, anyways, all right, let's move on. Some thoughts that I had about last night, with what transpired last night with the NBA Finals Game 3. I was leaning towards the Thunder. Like, I thought the Thunder could have a really good game, and we've seen throughout these playoffs, sometimes Game 3s have not favored the Pacers. We saw it in the Bucks series after they went up 2-0. We saw it in the Cavs series. We saw it in the Knicks series, where Game 3s can kind of, let's feel each other out. Let's test the waters here. That was a close game, whole way through. Phenomenal tight game. And I think the biggest thing too is when you look at the first half, points off the bench, I think, was a huge impact on that game, where You look at, T.J. McConnell had a big difference in the game. Neesmith and Nemhard, which like there's parts of me that want to make a video of there's a picture of Shea, so, so it's President on defense. And there's parts of me that want to make a meme where it's like, bro's not built for this big moment, because like we're kind of seeing it both ways, where if Shea's not going, neither are the Thunder. But then in turn, if Halliburton's not distributing the ball and being like the engine for the Pacers don't get it going either. And so it's just kind of funny where, you press up on him and play a little bit of full court action. And look at this. Shea's human, like how we always knew he was. But I think he's bound to have a bounce back game. Like, I think this series is still gonna, go at least 6 or 7, because I think both teams match up pretty well. And I think the other thing too that kind of gets ignored and mixed in the shuffle of things is Halliburton had a good game, Siakam had a good game, McCollum had a good game too with the bench, but also turnovers. Turnovers were huge in yesterday's game, and there's probably a stat, but I'm not going to waste your guys' time to look it up, where we've seen points off of turnovers in transition and stuff with transitional basketball. And so I think, let's see how many points, how many three-pointers, or just tough contested layups with an and one, how many points the Pacers got off of. Shea alone had 6 turnovers, so that's a pretty big thing to look at. But then also, the other thing too, at the very, very end of the game, is when, because towards the very end of the game, and it was kind of what was happening in the Thunder T-Wolves series, the term is nickel and dime. I don't know. It might be Bill Rafter with college basketball, but like they would just ticky-tack fouls throughout the whole, like when we're under 90 seconds, where we'll foul you, let's go to the line, you miss, we'll try. And like they did that towards the end of the game, and that's what the final 2 minutes were in the game, which personally, it's like, no, just run the clock out. Like, let's see some madness here. But when the Thunder had the chance, whether it was Chet Holmgren, I think I know Holmgren went to the line. What's his name? Is his last name Harris? Williams? Who am I thinking of? He's one of the bench role players for the Thunder. But anyways, they would go up to the line and they'd shank him. Like that's the other big thing too, along with turnovers, is the Thunder couldn't make free throws towards the end of the game. And so that was kind of like, well, okay, Pacers get us tonight. And I think again, with kind of the original feelings that I had on this series, I know the Pacers were going to win one on the road and one at home. Here we are. So it's kind of like, you know what? If the Thunder can retake home court advantage, because the Thunder just got to worry about winning Game 5 and Game 7, because they have Game 5 and Game 7 at home. So those are 2 guaranteed wins. They got to worry about just trying to sneak out one on the road. They either need to win. They need to win at home, duh. But they also need to get Game 4 or Game 6. They got to get one of these 2 on the road, and then they just got to win out at home for them to have a shot, have a chance to win the NBA Finals. I don't know. Like, I think, like, I'm still going to lean towards the Thunder, but if the Thunder can't get it done, it'll be interesting. It'll be definitely, because like they just, I don't know, it's like what? So anyway, so that's my thought on that. Let me get a swig here real quick. All right. So yeah, that's my thoughts on how the NBA Finals played out the other day. It was a good game, very, very good game, very good game. But we'll just see how the rest of this series plays out. I still think it's going to be a good series, even though a lot of people are like, no, it sucks. The ratings and are you watching the games? They're entertaining. Um, the other thing too, let's switch over. Let's start to transition over into hockey and the hockey world. Um, Ducks are building something. I don't know what they're building, but earlier today we saw the report, along with Cale Makar winning the Norris Trophy. Um, did someone else sign an extension too? But the other thing was there was talks yesterday that Chris Kreider and the Ducks, like, they were open to looking for a trade from New York, and finalized and happened today. So now you got Jacob Trouba and you got Kreider reuniting in Anaheim. I'm kind of curious as to why the Rangers, because like I build the Rangers up and it's like, hell yeah, they got Coach Sullivan. Here we go, and now there's movement. There's movement going on here. So I'm thinking, I don't know, like, I think Chris Kreider's a fine player. Like, he's good. Him, Zibanejad, Panarin, Trouba, Shesterkin, like, they were the reason why the Rangers won the President's Trophy Cup a couple years ago. There's parts of me that wonder, where was Coach Sullivan the reason why Kreider wanted to leave? A little bit of a Rangers-Penguins rivalry, or just, I don't know. Seriously, like I don't know. Like, I think the Rangers can still have a decent shot, and I'll say this: like, I think, all things considered, when you look at the best teams in the West and the best teams in the West and the best teams in the East, like, I would throw, yeah, I think the Rangers could have given a good shot to the Panthers. I think the Capitals could have given a good contested shot to the Panthers as well. I think, who else? Rangers, Capitals. Let me look. Let's look up some teams here. There's parts of me that want to say, oh, the Leafs. No. Let me look here. All right. Maybe Tampa, but we saw how Tampa and them played. Maybe the Red Wings. I would say Jersey, but Jersey was injured. I don't know. Like, interesting. Because who's gonna get in Florida's way? They're so stinking good right now. They're a wagon. Maybe Columbus. Columbus probably could have taken them to 6. I think Washington could have taken them to 6 or 7. I don't know. They're just they simply are the best team in the East. Like, they just are. They're a wagon right now. So, and we'll see where the Rangers go from here. We really will. Whoa. Excuse me, I shouldn't be yawning. Oh boy. Okay. But then to preview kind of what's going on tonight, because we got Game 4 tonight between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers. I think with just how last game went, with the emotions of, we got a little bit of extra pushing, extra shoving. I'm interested to see how the Oilers bounce back in this game. And one way that I think, because we've seen Leon Draisaitl at his best, we've seen McDavid at his best. We saw the reports. Skinner's going to be at net. There's parts of me that's like, you know what? Actually, that, it does make sense because Stuart Skinner got you here. But then there's also that safety net. I wouldn't overlook Pickard. I really wouldn't, because Pickard helped them get past the Kings in the Kings series. Now, I think where the Oilers have a shot and have a chance to get back in this series, because if this thing's 3-1 and we're leaving Florida down 3-1, there's parts of me that like would not be surprised if Florida does what Edmonton did to Dallas, where okay, we'll give you game 1 and then 4 straight. Would not put that out of the realm of possibility. But again, the Oilers are a damn good team. They got past the Kings, they got past Vegas, and they got past Dallas. So there's a reason why they're here in the Cup. But right now, kind of with the manner of which last game went, where we had live brawls, we had 10-minute misconducts, we had just extracurricular shit and stuff. I'm kind of interested to see where's Edmonton going to be today. And there's parts of me that think like if Edmonton can stay out of the penalty box and like not get caught up in the emotions of, oh, Bennett hit me wrong, Forsling hit me wrong, or something, like there's parts of me that think, dude, Edmonton's got this, and it doesn't matter if it's at home or away, like they can win and re-grab momentum in this series. And then another thing too is McDavid's got to get it going. I think as well with, this is a team sport, everybody's got to get involved. There's parts of me that look and see where, with games like last night, where they lose 6-1, your goalie gets pulled. Who else is going to be a spark plug if McDavid's having an off night? Like, you got to look at other guys getting involved, whether it's Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins, or some Ekholm with defense. Maybe a spark plug could be a guy on defense, but I don't know. I mean, we've seen Arvidsson fight back in this series, like he had a goal a couple games ago. So, like, there's parts of me that wonder, like, okay, if McDavid has an off night tonight, who's going to step up for them? Like, if our two main guys, McDavid and Draisaitl, aren't going, who's going to step up? Who's going to help? And so that's who I think, and that's how I think tonight might go. Because we know the Panthers are going to go after McDavid all game, and they're going to try to throw him off. Because McDavid's connection, I would kind of compare it to the Thunder, where if Shea's not going, the Thunder aren't going. If McDavid's not going, the Oilers aren't going. And so, we'll just see. And then also, like, because if Florida can, get in Edmonton's head, oh, this thing's 3-1, heading back to Edmonton. Because we've seen it. Whether it's Marchand, whether it's Bennett, whether it's Forsling, whether it's Ekblad, like, the Panthers have the Oilers number, and we've seen it. So we'll just see how tonight's game goes. Be sure to let me know in the comments, guys, your thoughts on that, and I'll see you in the next video. Booyah! Clip that, chat. Clip that, baby. But yeah, that's my thoughts on how tonight might go between Florida and Edmonton. Because I'm leaning towards, if I were to pick tonight and who would win tonight, the manner of which, how like Florida just kind of manhandled Edmonton in the other game, give me Florida again. Because I mean, they beat you in double overtime in game 2. They whooped your ass in game 3, 6-1. They've already gotten in your mental psyche of, okay, now we're playing mental games. We're doing a little extra checks after. There's parts of me where it's like, Florida has their number. They can do anything. So I would lean towards, like, if the emotions get, like, if this turns into an emotional game, which it will, because that's what sports are. Sports are emotional. There's parts of me that think, why wouldn't Florida go up 3-1? They've been up 3-1 before, and we saw what happened. So, I would lean towards that. But, like, dude, McDavid's a freaking dog, and he's so good. And so there's parts of me that think, like, this needs to be a 2-goal, 3-goal kind of. Well, I don't think McDavid would get a hat trick. If McDavid gets a hat trick, it's because there's probably going to be an empty netter. Because again, Bobrovsky's not going to let 3 goals by just one player. Like, if McDavid's the only scorer and like Edmonton wins 3-0, like, I can see that. But I don't know. We'll see. McDavid, if If McDavid has a quiet night and a quiet game, pack it up, baby. Pack it up. This thing's going 3-1 to Edmonton. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Whoop. Little snack. All right. Anything else to talk about? Okay, we gave our preview on tonight's game. We talked about Chris Kreider and his trade. Shea Gilgis. Okay. All right, people. Here, let's go. Let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat real quick. Yes, I watch football. Yeah. Go Steelers. Hey, you know what? I think the Steelers could have a pretty decent season. Go Oilers. All right, all right. I see how we're split 50-50 between the between the Panthers and Oilers. I think it's going to be a good game. I think if this is the game that the Oilers get back into the series, and if McDavid has a good game, Draisaitl, they all have a good game, this is the game for it to happen. So, all right, people on the shorts end, we're going to do a hard out here. I thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for all the likes. We'll see you guys in another stream. All right. Now that we got that. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way. No, stay tuned for we'll get this preview and the prediction thing ready up and going. But yeah, I think tonight would be the perfect night for Edmonton to get back into it. Now I'd feel a lot better. Like, let's say Edmonton did lose tonight. Let's say Edmonton, let's just say Florida had their number tonight, and they end up beating them up again, 6-1 or something. I'd feel a little bit more conscious and like on the series if hold on. Sorry, that was disgusting. Excuse me. But I feel more conscious of if, like, the Oilers went up. No. If the Panthers went up 3-1 in the manner of, okay, they blew you out in Game 3, and then because they just got to again in Game 4, and they put another 6 on you, they put another 5 on you, I'd feel a little bit more going into Game 5 in front of Edmonton's home crowd, because then all the pressure gets put back on you. Now, if Edmonton wins tonight, I think, because right now the advantage, leans towards the Panthers. Edmonton, to win this series as well, they need to win they need to win out at home from here on out, yes. But they got to steal one in Florida. They really do. So I think tonight could be the game where they do it. We'll see. We will see. If I were to give a pick, I'd lean towards... What's a good prediction here? Damn. Yeah, give me Edmonton. And the reason why I'd say just Edmonton is because the Oilers have to find a way to get back in this thing. They can't go down 3-1. They cannot go down 3-1. We've seen what has happened to teams that have gone down 3-1. Like, it's defeating. So we'll just see. Let me know in the comment section, guys, who you guys got. and we'll see you in the next stream. See you later.